Hi everybody, it's Dr. Bridget Young from babyformulaexpert.com coming to you live from my backyard. It's super hot here in Denver. Petey's on the ground, you can't see him. We're both a little hot and sticky, so ignore the lack of flawless face. Today, I want to talk to you about one of the most common questions I hear from breastfeeding moms, which I've put off talking about because it's a little controversial, and that is, how much exactly can I drink and still breastfeed my baby? Or another way to put that is, when do I need to pump and dump? Which, I just keep checking on them. Which is so hard to do. Pumping and dumping milk is so hard. You work so hard to make that milk. I totally get it. Well, I can't give you the perfect answer. The perfect answer is, of course, use your mother's intuition, and if you think you shouldn't nurse, then don't nurse. What I can do is actually give you the science of how the alcohol gets into your breast milk so you have a really good idea of how much is getting to the baby and how that affects the baby. This information is really hard to find online. So here it is. I got my notes here to make sure I don't forget anything. And I'm also drinking myself right now. I'm having an Avery White Rascal today, which if you like wheat beers or Belgians of any kind, this beer will knock your socks off. It is so good. But back to talking about drinking and nursing. So for my organic chemistry nerds out there, when you drink, what is going through your blood that gives you your buzz, and the alcohol is actually ethanol, which has an OH moiety on it, and that is an alcohol. The OH allows ethanol to freely diffuse through membranes, including those of your mammary epithelial cells. That all boils down, for people who don't care about all that jargon, to the fact that ethanol or alcohol in your blood passes freely and directly right into breast milk. So the amount of alcohol in your blood is the exact amount that's going to be in your breast milk. To put that into some usable terms, you guys have probably all heard of BAC, which is blood alcohol content. The legal limit to drive is 0.08, which means 0.08% of your blood is actually alcohol. Now, for a breastfeeding mom, especially a new mom who's just gone 9 months without drinking anything, you are going to feel super buzzed and probably quite intoxicated before you get to 0.08. You should definitely not be driving. But if you have your capacities about you and you're considering, could I nurse, you're probably much lower than 0.08. But we'll use 0.08 as our example. So if you're at the legal limit of 0.08, which is, for me, that would be 2 large glasses of wine in under an hour, which is a lot. Which is more than I would normally try to put down. 0.08, your milk is going to also be 0.08% alcohol. So your baby is consuming a liquid that is 0.08% alcohol. For reference, if an adult were to consume a glass of orange juice has 0.08% alcohol in it because of the natural fermentation of sugars in the fruit juice. So that's obviously not that much. It's a very minuscule amount. Now, to be clear, before I have doctors and lactation consultants suing me, a baby's liver, especially a new baby, is more immature than an adult, and the liver is what processes alcohol. So even though they're consuming a really tiny amount, which would be in an amount that wouldn't matter to an adult, it is going to take them longer to process that alcohol. So keep that in mind. And what I wanted to point out on my notes here is that I have a very liberal attitude towards women drinking and then nursing for this reason, that even if they are fairly borderline at 0.08, the amount in their milk is very little. If you have a premature baby, or your baby was delivered prematurely, or you've had any sort of growth issues or severe health issues, or the baby has a cold, really anything outside of the scope of a healthy, normal, growing, chubby, breastfed baby, I want you to be more conservative and not drink and nurse. If everything's going fine, nursing's going great, baby's developing rolls, I say, go ahead, enjoy your cocktail, even enjoy 2, spread out over a couple hours, and don't feel bad about nursing. The other thing that you need to know, but when you make this decision for yourself, because you're the one that has to decide, is how is it going to affect the baby. So hopefully I've convinced you that even if you're at 0.08, the amount of alcohol in your milk is very small. Now the baby still does have to process that. And if a baby is exposed to too much alcohol, whatever that is for that baby, the side effects for a healthy baby are sleepiness, not such a bad thing sometimes if it's in the evening, and could be decreased hunger. And then for the mother, you could have a delayed or slow letdown. So if you're hitting the bottle every night, that you continue to have a delayed letdown and your baby continues to not be hungry, that's going to have a serious impact on your milk supply and potentially your baby's growth. However, like I said, everything in moderation. If you are out with your girlfriends and you probably haven't been out for a really long time, or you are finally getting out of the house with your husband for dinner, 1 or 2 glasses of wine, I think is a wonderful thing. And like I said, it will likely make the baby sleepy. So what I would do that is say, choose to have your alcohol in the evening, and maybe you'll get a couple extra hours of sleep at night. So hopefully understanding the science of how alcohol gets into breast milk helps you make an informed decision. For those of you just joining the broadcast now, I can boil that down really quickly. Alcohol passes directly and freely from your blood into your breast milk. So your blood alcohol content is exactly how much alcohol your baby is consuming. If you are at 0.08%, the legal limit for driving, which will feel pretty boozy to a woman who hasn't drank for 9 months of pregnancy, your baby is consuming a liquid that is 0.08% alcohol. This is roughly the amount of alcohol in orange juice. So it's a very minimal amount. Your baby will process this more slowly than an adult because their liver is more immature. So that needs to be kept in mind. But the side effects for a healthy baby are relatively easy to handle. So the clients that I work with in general who are seeking out lactation care or expertise about formula are very responsible parents, and those are the parents I'm speaking to now. And for those, I think it's completely fine to indulge in a responsible manner every now and then and not feel guilty about nursing your baby. Now that you know the science, you can also tweak things to decrease a baby's exposure, like choosing to have your cocktail immediately after nursing. So the next time your baby needs to nurse is going to be at least 2 hours away, and you'll have cleared a lot of that alcohol from your system, dramatically decreasing how much the baby is exposed to. The other thing I always tell parents is just to give yourself peace of mind. Because the amount of alcohol that's in the milk is going to be minimal, usually my concerns are more, are you cognitively able to care for your baby? I don't want you so tipsy that you're going to trip while carrying your infant, or that you might fall asleep while holding your baby. Those are bigger concerns to me than the alcohol. So to help parents feel really good about making the decision to nurse while having a cocktail, I say just make the rule. Go ahead and have one or two cocktails. Don't feel bad about nursing, but then you and your partner decide there's no way that baby comes into the bed with us tonight, because you don't want to risk that, especially if you may not wake up or you may be a heavier sleeper. And you don't get too tipsy if you are caring for the baby alone, like I said, because you don't want to risk having a trip or a fall while carrying your baby. Those are bigger concerns to me than the alcohol in the breast milk. So I hope that helps clear up some questions. I hope this helps give some of you moms permission who haven't touched alcohol since having your baby and you're feeling really deprived. Have a glass of wine. You had a baby, for God's sakes. You deserve a little bit of a break. Your baby will be fine. And again, please use this information appropriately. You know what's best for your baby. I'm hoping to provide you details so that you can make an informed decision and not be making your decisions out of fear. Your baby should enhance your life in every aspect, and you should never feel like you're deprived. So with that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you have a question you want me to handle about anything related to baby, especially baby nutrition, go ahead and send me a message on Facebook or leave it in the comments. And I'd love for you to click the sign up button in the Facebook header, and that will put you on my email list. So when I come out with cool new things, or I'm going to develop my colic tips guide, I'll send it to you for free in your email. Okay, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my beer. I hope you get a cocktail too. Well, hold on, we'll do hello, baby. Petey will come up and say goodbye to sign off. We'll say hello to everybody on Facebook. All right, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one. Bye.